let me start at the most important position, and that's the offensive line. We're really returning a lot of experience on the O-line this year. Jake Benson, team captain, returning starter, really in essence of he's going to be a four-year starter. He had started the last 3 or 4 games of his freshman year, and he's been a starter ever since. Tremendous leader, extremely physical, and he's a guy you want in the back alley with you. If you're outnumbered, that's for sure. And so guys rally around him, and he's kind of the core that holds everything together, up front. Josh Barnett returns for us at center. Again, a returning starter. Josh is really kind of at the mastery phase. He's kind of a coach on the field, knows everything, and very intelligent young man and extremely strong. Excited to have him back. At the right guard position, we really have 2 starters returning. Dan Wankowitz will be back, and Matt DiGiacomo. Both of these guys had started they were battling all last year for that starting job. Each of them had started a couple of games at the right guard spot. So I'm sure one of them is going to step forward to claim that spot, but it's good to have 2 guys with experience there, coming back. And then same is somewhat true at the right tackle position. John Reamer has started most of last year, but Shane Katz also played significantly, and those 2 were battling it out this spring. There's a lot of experience there. So as a whole, this is certainly a strength coming back for us as the offensive line, where last year we were very young up front. This year we feel like we've got a lot of experience returning. At the tight end position, we're returning Eric Wade at tight end, and Eric was really a huge bright spot for us a year ago. He was a high school quarterback, big high school quarterback that we had recruited as a tight end. He had never had his hand on the ground before he got here, and really grew tremendously in the weight room and on the field experience. Earned the starting job last year. Did a great job for us, an all-conference player at tight end. He's back for his junior year. We're excited to have him. We're looking for a second tight end right now, but it's not that we don't have one. It's that we're trying to figure out which of 2 great guys it's going to be, because there's 2 guys there that really both had a great spring. Josh Marshall at tight end and Josh Gray. And both of these guys just had tremendous springs for us. They're battling out for that second tight end spot. But we like to use 2 tight end sets if we can. If we have the personnel to do so. And with whichever one of these guys kind of wins that H-back position that we call our second tight end, I think we're going to be okay, with that. In the backfield, as I said, Marty Reinhardt is coming back at fullback for his 5th year of eligibility, returning all-conference player as well. Phenomenal, tough as nails, athletic, physical guy. He's really an attitude type of player, and he's got a lot of emotion, a lot of energy. He's named team captain, this spring by his teammates. Excited to have him back. And behind him, I can tell you the guy that I'm really impressed with, had a great spring for us, is Jay Sean Moore. Jay Sean's young; he's only going to be a sophomore, but he's the future of what we're looking for, in the fullback position. I'm sure he's going to get some playing time, and there's probably going to be times when both of those guys will be on the field, Marty and Jay Sean. The tailback position, as you mentioned, losing Joson Holmes is not easy. I mean, he's a 4-year starter, holds many records here, most records, rushing records, touchdowns, etc. Losing a guy like that is never easy, but we're extremely excited about the potential that we have at the position. The biggest excitement for me is the fact that we're getting Ty Hughes back. Ty Hughes would have been a guy that would have played an enormous role for us in 2011 had he not, gotten hurt and needed. He had off-season surgery, complete reconstruction, and he's back 100% healthy. Had a great spring for us, and I think he adds a new dimension to our offense with the size and strength that he has that we really haven't had there at that position. The other guys that I think are really going to have breakthrough years for us, the tailback position, as they seize the opportunity in front of them, is Zach Groff, local product. I went to Wilson High School, and Zach is extremely powerful and explosive. We're excited about the spring that he had and what he can do for us. And then Uriah Brickhouse as well, and the capabilities that he has. So I think we've got 3 solid backs right there that we feel very good about, that, you know, I think are going to add a new dimension to our offense, and maybe things will look a little bit different without Holmes. We're doing a lot of the same things, but these guys allow us to do some other things that maybe we weren't capable of before either. At the quarterback position, again, I'm returning 2 guys that both have starting experience. You know, T.J. Luddy, who is, you know, slated as a starter. You know, he was #1 through the whole spring, but constantly nipping on his heels is Adam Galzinski, and Adam, you know, had some tremendous games for us last year as well. Both of those guys had some great performances. What we're looking for from each of these guys this year is a greater level of consistency. Consistency of performance, particularly in terms of making big plays when we need big plays. And both these guys had a great spring, and you know, I feel very confident that between those 2, we're going to have a consistent quarterback that we can win with. And both those guys are another year older, another year of experience. You know, TJ was a sophomore last year, made some sophomore mistakes. That, based on the spring that he had, I feel like those are out of the system, and we're going to see some great things from the quarterback position, you know, this fall. And then at the receiver slot, as I mentioned in the preview, Scott Pilar is back. Not only is he a returning All-American, he is probably one of the hardest working guys that we have in terms of the level of intensity that he practices with. This guy has one speed and it's full go all the time, and he's just a ball of energy on the field. He rallies people, you know, around him. He wants the ball in his hands in critical situations, and he delivers. You know, so the big playability that he has, I think, not only helps us stretch the ball down the field, but it opens up a lot of the rest of our offense, really, as people, you know, work to defend him. Caleb Shilko's back as a returning starter at the other receiver spot. He's really improved his speed this offseason, and you know, which I think really gives us another deep threat, you know, now that he's back. Dan McNair had a breakout spring for us. Really excited about him as a 3rd receiver, and you know, he's going to be challenging for a lot of playing time. I think he's got huge playmaking ability. And then Troy Brennan is back for his senior year. Trey's been somewhat of a role player for us, and I think based on the spring that he's had, he's certainly made it evident that he wants that role to increase. We're looking for big things from him. And then Devron Clark, who really has been a returner for us. He's played a little bit for us last year at the receiver spot. We moved him in camp last year from defense. Now with a year under his belt, he's ready to step up, and I'm excited about what he can do, you know, getting on the field. So offensively, we're returning 9 starters, a lot of talent, a lot of experience, and certainly expectations are very high on that side of the ball.